As I promised, I am here to tell you about my 8-week experience doing The Biggest Loser. Hi guys, I'm Danielle and this is Hogan Life. I like to talk to you about everything mom related. I have to be honest with you. I have had 7 kids and I was ready to throw in the towel of, achieving my perfect weight or achieving my, I feel good at this weight. I don't want to worry about it anymore. I was embracing the mom jeans. I was getting ready to just weed out of my closet all the clothes that I have kept for a decade, thinking that after I was done having kids, I was of course going to get back to my goal weight and be able to fit in all of those fun and, fashionable clothes. I was like, fashion, who cares anymore? My sister owns a gym, her and her husband, and they were doing Biggest Loser. They've done this before where members or even people in the community come in and decide, I want to lose weight. You pay, you are part of this program. So we started and we went to our first weigh-in. This was a Monday morning. We all got our names on a board. Our weight was written in a book along with all of our measurements. Like I had to submit to being measured. I had to take a picture, a before picture. And I was like, just don't show me. I don't want to see it. But the real hard part came a week later when, after your name on the board, you either had a minus or a plus, and then the amount of weight that you had lost or gained throughout the week. Suddenly things started getting really real. Let me just get all my cards on the table. I underestimated the process. I did not realize the benefit and the value of having a community of people who were not just interested in becoming their best or their better selves and losing weight and getting fit, but real encouragers, really team players. And this was a competition of 12 people to achieve something they maybe and probably would not have achieved on their own. And spoiler alert, I have to tell you that the collective weight loss amongst these 12 people was 224.5 pounds. And after feeling like I had, 8 weeks of misery, because let's be real. Can I be real? There's a lot of misery in having to discipline yourself in specific areas. But there's misery anytime you have to say no to a craving. Anytime you want ice cream and you say, I'm not doing ice cream at 9:00 at night. Yeah, there's a certain amount of misery. So what? Suck it up. So let me just tell you what I did. I am super proud of myself. This was about getting fit. This was about being healthier. And every week we had a fitness challenge and a health challenge. And sometimes the health challenge was really hard, like the Danielle fast for a week, where you're eating super clean, absolutely no processed foods, absolutely no sugar. And sometimes the health challenge was just drinking large quantities of water and not eating past 7, working on making good choices. Nobody wants to be confined to counting calories every single day. I don't want to be. But the reality of losing weight is staying in a caloric deficit. It's just mathematical. Did anyone get super offended when they started seeing the amount of calories next to the meal that they were going to order? Now you look at a menu and there's the caloric intake after the meal and you're like, okay, this is how much it costs and this is how much it costs. I don't want to know that. Nobody wants to know when they're eating a bacon burger that it's 1,400 calories. Nobody. They just want to enjoy their bacon burger. There's just too much consumption of calories, especially in the American diet. It's one thing when I'm at home and I'm just eating good, but if you go out to eat and you're eating an extra 1,200, if you go out to Starbucks and you drink a coffee drink that is 800 calories, that's a meal. That's more than a meal, and people are just having it as a snack. So all of that awareness was really beneficial, and I realized that you can do anything for 8 weeks. And more than that, you can do anything for 1 week, and you can do anything for a day. And that's kind of how I broke it down. I didn't need to watch my eating for 8 weeks. All I needed to do was make sure I made good quality choices today. I didn't go over my caloric intake. We started out strong, those who wanted to, with the master cleanse. Now, I don't recommend this for everyone. It's one of those cleanses, and you've probably read about it. It's like a lemonade cleanse where you drink the pure grade B maple syrup with a little cayenne and lemon and water, and that's what you drink for 7 days. That's it. So the thinking is it gives you the energy that you need to get through every day. It keeps you in a caloric deficit. And plus, it just gives your digestive system a break and allows you to detox. That was the hard week. That was a very hard week. I did get a lot of headaches, but also you're missing food. You're just missing food. And next we went right into the Danielle fast. And this felt like heaven. You know, you can eat fruit and vegetables raw and cooked. I ate lentil soup every day. I made my homemade lentil soup in the crock pot. And after the first day, no one wanted to eat it. And I ate it every single day for 7 days. I loved it. I don't feel like eating it probably for a while, but I loved it at the time. And then week 3, I went right into intermittent fasting. Now, I've done this a lot before. I really like intermittent fasting because I love the way it makes my body feel, not eating constantly, not snacking all the time. And so my normal intermittent fasting is not to eat till 12 or 1 and then not to eat past 7. So the thinking is you have a window of fasting and you have a window of eating. This allows your body to go into ketosis, allows your body to feed off of your stores of fat instead of feed off the sugar that your body is typically taking in all the time if you're used to having 3 square meals a day and snacking. So one of the things I noticed when your body's in ketosis is that you get super thirsty. You drink a ton of water. And you can also drink black coffee. Now, I did go off of coffee because I love coffee with cream and sugar. So I got off of it just in case. I just didn't want the black coffee, but I did have black coffee, I don't know, a couple times a week. Now, one of the commitments I made was a commitment towards exercising. That is really hard. I always go to the gym twice a week, but I decided I was going to prioritize the gym 5 times a week. And this was a big deal for me. I did have to do some shifting there with my school, but I was just telling myself, I can do anything for 8 weeks. Sunday afternoon, I had a chance to take a nap or work out, and I went on the treadmill. That's the first, because those opportunities to nap don't come very often. But go me! 5 miles. 5 times a week, and sometimes I would even go 6 times a week. I would go on a Saturday morning. It was great. And I also pushed myself to jog a mile and do a class. So usually when I went to the gym, I was doing a class. My sister does some awesome classes, and my brother-in-law. At the end of the 8 weeks, I jogged 5 miles, and that was huge for me. I haven't jogged 5 miles, maybe never. I kind of had the goal that I wanted to lose 10 pounds. I ended up losing 19 pounds. I wanted to fit into my jeans that I hadn't fit into for like 8 years. I don't know, somewhere between having kids, I stopped losing all the baby weight. I never thought I would wear these again. I am not wearing gym clothes to this gym party. I am wearing celebration clothes, pants that I couldn't fit into 8 weeks ago, and a jacket that was just too tight in the shoulders. But the accountability that happened in those 8 weeks, that weighing in on a Monday morning, that would just weigh over me. Come like Saturday, I'd be like, okay, don't eat past 6, don't eat past 7. Let's do an extra 3 miles on the treadmill. And I know that sounds manic, but in order to achieve some of these goals, in order to push yourself, you do have to get a little manic. And it's not forever, but how bad do you want to lose a little weight? This happened like mid. I didn't want to lose a little weight that bad. But you know what I didn't want to do? Disappoint my friends who were all doing The Biggest Loser, who were all working so hard. And at the end, the high-fiving that was going on, we were so proud of each other. Last day of the last week of Biggest Loser. Going for a moderate jog. I have to tell you something. My sister lost 27 pounds. After 3 weeks, she had only lost 3 pounds. And she was working hard. She was going to the gym every day. She was really watching her eating. And it wasn't till week 4 that she started just dropping weight. Like at week 4, she lost 9 pounds. And it was just like, wow. And then the next week, she lost 8 pounds. It was like her body clicked into gear. And it started dropping what she didn't need anymore. Everyone had a different story. And that was one of the wonderful things, is that our stories were all different, but after 8 weeks, everyone had success. Guys, I gave up sourdough bread. I love sourdough bread. And I still made it for the family, eat, if not every day, every other day. And that was a sacrifice. It was huge. And my kids would be like, you want to smell it, Mom? And I'd be like, I'm back on sourdough bread right now. But I am trying to be moderate. I have to tell you, moderation is not in my skill set. Not everyone is like me. I would rather give up sugar altogether than try to be moderate with sugar. That's my problem. Know thyself, right? And there's so much you could do. I really love the intermittent fasting, but my friend, she had young kids and wanted to make sure she had her coffee in the morning. So she intermittent fasted with an eating window from like 9 to 4. So she didn't eat past 4. And I really love that. So whatever it is that suits your schedule, suits your personality, suits your family, you can do it. I wanted to do some 24-hour fasting, but to fast in the morning and all the way into the evening, it was hard. So I would eat until 3 and then fast from 3 till the next day at 3, and then I could eat at 3. And so I would have that 4 or 5 hour window. So there's so much you can do. It does take discipline, but if you can get a community of people who want to lose weight, who are going to be determined and committed to a certain amount of time with you, you can't beat it. Like do it. It's possible. And you should never get to the point where you just kind of throw in the towel and give up, decide you're going to give up all your smaller clothes. I mean, if it's reasonable. Sometimes you're just like, those clothes were so 20 years ago. I don't need them. I have to tell you how good it feels to be 19 pounds lighter. I can jog with greater ease. I feel it in my joints. I feel better overall. I felt really good not eating sugar, not eating bread. I have a separate abdominal, and so that was something that, I never really see a big difference in my stomach, but I did see just an overall shrinking of my stomach. Signing off. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. I would love to talk more about this. And no one can mom your kids like you. Let's keep up the good work. Let's keep pursuing our dreams, not thinking that our dreams are impractical. Hello. I'll see you next time. What'd you love the most about it?
Everything.
Everything? The end?
My favorite part is always coming to the gym early in the morning and seeing Corey.
All right. I love the community. I just underestimated that part. Also, I love that I lost 19 pounds because I actually feel a lot better.
My favorite part of the video
Yes.
was losing 27 pounds.
Oh my gosh. Wow, that's a Backstreet Boy. What was your favorite part, Dad?
My favorite part was being able to play the part of Timothy Leary for 8 weeks.
Oh.